We are living in a fundamentally really cool and special time. That time is in which a lot of people are facilitating major changes very quickly. And a lot of that has to do with our mindset as a whole. And that's expansion mindset. I think it's funny. Martha and I have been on this journey separately, but we are going to talk about it together. Let's talk about expansion mindset. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to I Got This podcast with LEX and MGP. My name is Lex. I've been a personal trainer for 7 years now. Martha is my client, and she has been with me for 4 years. Over our time together, she's lost over 60 pounds, and we have learned so much together. We've learned what works, what doesn't work, and more importantly, we've had so much fun doing it. So join us each and every week as we talk about whatever the hell we want. Hey everybody, welcome back to I Got This podcast, season number 2. Today we were talking about expansion mindset. For everybody out there listening, I think that'd be super cool.
Oh, I agree. I think basically it's the tip of the iceberg for both of us at this point. I wasn't even self-aware of my self-awareness until probably the last year or so.
That's what I was thinking too, like last year. It's so weird. That's when my journey started with it.
I feel like we kind of, like you said, we were on parallel paths and we would talk about it, but our paths are different.
Yeah. It's so it's kind of interesting. And I've had waves of where I felt like I was really into it and like focusing on it, and waves where I'm more focused on like the little things in my life that are small problems and in the grand scheme of things mean nothing at all and will pass.
Sure.
Right? Tiny stressors. But then when like everything else in line is fine, then my expansion mindset is able to grow. So let's kind of go over, for those of around us that like don't really know what it is. So expansion mindset is basically accelerating change in a certain time. So it's the fact that we are moving very, very quickly, and humans as a whole have a different mindset than they ever have had before. So there are actually 4 pieces to expansion mindset. You kind of might not even realize that they're happening to you or that you're involved in them. Maybe you hear them and you're like, wait, this is a sort of consciousness that I may be unlocking.
Okay.
But we're only going to talk about the first one today because I definitely want to expand on this topic. So the first one is transformational intelligence. That kind of means empathy, self-awareness, focusing on your words, your emotional intelligence, and your IQ, of course. The second is the wisdom of uncertainty. The wisdom of uncertainty. That's something that it kind of speaks for itself, but we'll talk more about that.
Okay.
Consciousness processing. And then finally, intentional transformational technology. That means ITT. So we're just going to talk about transformational intelligence today. I think a key word that we've both been focusing on is self-awareness and how we relate to others and how we understand others. And I think we're in like a really cool time in society in which people think a ton about how others would feel and how they relate to others. Sometimes, I will say, and a little political, I don't even care, I'm going to say it. Sometimes a little too much and a little too aggressive about it. And I don't think sometimes it's completely necessary. But we are really thinking about how, what someone else could be going through. And I think that's really special. And I think you and I sitting here are not the only ones.
Right.
Kind of unlocking that part of their brain.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I feel like I've had a desire to even learn more about this in the last 12 months.
You have?
Yeah. And I'm embracing kind of learning about this as well. I wonder,
like, what kind of triggered it for you?
I don't know. I think that there was just some stuff in my own self that I wanted to change. And so I'm embracing the change. And as I'm changing and evolving, I like who I'm becoming.
Yeah. You like who you're growing into. That's really cool. And you can see the people, I think you said something along these lines before we talked about it. Like you can see when people are not ready for change, kind of.
Yeah, they'll say they are. I think I said they pay lip service to the idea of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're not really going through it. I mean, you have to believe that your abilities can be improved through your effort and persistence with this.
I like how you put that. I think for me, I think something that helps me is knowing that I really don't know everything at all, or like I really don't know much at all. I feel like I know 0.001% of the things that there are to know, right? And I think that's helped me understand like, okay, well, I really don't know anything. So that's helped me grow to be like, well, at least I can learn a little bit more every single day, either about myself or about others around me. Whereas others say, you're right. Like you can kind of tell if somebody doesn't really want to grow.
Right. But I think everyone can change and grow. And it always bothers me when people are like, oh, well, they're a certain age. They're just not going to change their ways. But I think that that's ridiculous. I think you can always change and grow through application, experience, just being compassionate. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do that.
I think you're so right. And learning from younger generations is actually, I think you're really good at it because you're around younger generations more than most people are. But like, I think if you can like turn yourself, even you learning from me is like so admirable, Martha. Honestly, for you saying like, I'm going to learn from somebody younger than I, whereas most people would say like, no, I can't tell you how many times like clients have like not really understood what I was saying or not respect. Not that I needed to demand respect or anything, or like just not wanted to learn from me due to my age, especially in my younger years, but still. So I think like learning to learn from younger generations is like really special in itself too, and probably very, very valuable.
Right. I mean, you're never fully done till you're done.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, I know that sounds very silly, but you should never, or at least I don't want to be.
I always think about how much room there is in the brain and how many connections like there can be made. And I like literally think, I truly think I'm like, wow, I'm probably using like really not much part of my brain. I'm using really not that much, I don't think.
You read those studies and it really isn't. You're not really using that much. Yeah.
Okay, so you're actually not. But I think about it. I'm like, I'm probably really not doing much up here. How much am I really thinking about things?
Please be using just more than your brainstem, which only controls like breathing in your heart.
Just a little bit more. I'm probably using like 1% more than that. That's sometimes how I think. Like, and then I'll be thinking, I'm like, oh, I've never thought like this before. I think I'm not a deep thinker like many, which is okay.
I would actually argue that sometimes I think you think about a lot of that stuff deeper.
Wow, thanks. This is turned into a fun one. But I think it's really cool. It's like we're rapidly changing. We're learning how to think about how others think, feel, and act. And I think if we could start to, so what I did last year is I took these 4 key elements and I broke them into sections of the year. I know we're going to be releasing this in April or May, so we'll kind of be skipping the first quarter, but I broke them up into 3-month sections. I said, okay, for this next 3 months, you're going to focus on emotional self-awareness. You're going to focus on transformative intelligence. You're going to focus on self-control, empathy, and how well you speak to people. I think if I were to rate myself in each of these categories, some are high and some are really low, you know? And I feel like if I can think about how good I am at certain ones of these, like, and try to get better, because you can get better at relationships.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I think sometimes you come from a place, and sometimes it's immaturity and sometimes it's just experience.
Yeah.
But of being maybe a little more self-centered in a relationship. And then you might go too far the other way.
Yeah.
Where you're only maybe focused on the other person. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Or even like a parent or sibling relationship.
Exactly. Yeah, it could be any of those. So when we say relationship, that was my point, is it could be any. And then you have to find that happy balance. And I think you and I have even talked about no relationship is ever 50-50.
Yeah.
On any given day, it could be 80-20, and then it could flip to 20-80 the other way, you know, and that's what makes a good relationship.
That's true.
And you have to be aware of that.
You have to give and take, and you have to learn how to communicate as well, and be honest, and be aware of how you're coming off and all of those good things.
Yep.
I think it's really fun too, because the things that we think are like basic knowledge are also not. Too like like, I mean, we've talked about these things. We've talked about self-awareness. We've talked about emotional self-control. We've talked about these things 100 times over, but it's like I never feel like I have them mastered. But if I can continue to work on them, then maybe I'll get closer to like a more expansive mindset, where I believe that, because I feel like expansive mindset is us as people knowing that like literally anything is possible, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that like there are so many routes that society could take, and there are so many routes that like our lives could take and how we could impact others, but that we literally just don't even understand how expansive it truly is. And that's why our world is rapidly changing, because people are understanding that this mindset is possible, that like it's not just go to work, wake up, go to bed, like whatever, watch TV. We want to be better. We want to like stop watching TV. We want to eat healthier. We want to figure out better ways to eat. We want to like do all these things. So I think like maybe just taking, if we can talk today strictly about transformational intelligence and take everything that we said today and say, okay, for the next few weeks, we're going to focus on how we can apply these tiny little tasks into our daily life or these tiny little skills into our daily life, then that would be a win.
Yeah. And is mastery ever truly what we're going to get to? No, but effort is the path to that mastery of these. So we're going to put in that effort to get this done.
Damn, she's dropping bombs today. And it's so true. Like age does show sometimes too, because it's like, it does, and not in a bad way, but in a great way.
You just calling me off being old?
No, I'm saying you're wise. Like
I'll take wise.
I do. I really think like sometimes like I think I've met a lot of. What is that saying where like I've met a wiser older person and I've met a young fool, but I never want to meet an old fool.
Right. Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. And I think I do. I think years expand. Like if you're growing, if you're trying to focus on work, your years show. Like my knowledge and my wisdom now, maybe I'll pull out a few nuggets. Cool. But nothing like, I don't know, you've had children. Like that's a pretty big thing to like.
I got a couple decades on you of experience.
Yeah, it's a freaking cool thing. I don't know. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with me. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I still don't feel like just because I'm at a certain age that I'm done or I've learned everything there is to learn or I have experienced everything there is to experience.
You're still so young. Are you kidding me?
Well, I got a lot of time to go still. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to go.
You're keeping me healthy, so I'm going to be here for a while.
I know. Okay, so I did meet this personal trainer on this trip and like, and whatever, because they were so much older than me, this person tried to tell me how to be at kind of like such a young age because I don't even think I'm a young personal trainer. I think I'm younger than this person, right? And it rubbed me the wrong way because just because you have years doesn't mean you have knowledge.
Correct.
But you have to kind of care about the other person and have that emotional intelligence to be able to show them that like, hey, this is kind of what I've accomplished. Do you have any questions? If I were to ask questions, then maybe you could give me the knowledge that I'm asking, right?
Right.
Without that relationship and they're just spitting knowledge at you or without me like asking questions, I don't want it. I don't know.
I don't know you.
I don't know you. But maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's not expansion mindset. Maybe I was pushing away knowledge that might have helped me. I don't really know.
But it's hard to say in that situation for sure.
Yeah, it is hard to say in that situation. So what we're getting out of this is we don't know.
We don't know.
Well, I kind of knew already what he was telling me. He's like, build good relationships with your clients. Yeah. Show them they care. And I'm like, no, or show them you care. I was like, no shit.
Unfortunately, delivery is part of the battle sometimes. Yeah. So you got to, but
I don't even know how we got to that topic. So yeah. I'm happy we're bringing this to the table. I think if you guys haven't thought about it, think about it. And that's all I got to say about that, honestly.
Just get on it.
Get on it. Think about expansion mindset. I think by listening to this podcast, you're sinking new information. You're trying to better yourself. So I think you are already closer to that path than you may realize.
Yeah, you're embracing the idea already.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think this is a big part of I Got This. I'm excited to see.
You have to have a desire to learn. Yeah. And that's really what it's come down to, I think, for both of us in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I do. I agree. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening today. I don't know what you got out of it, but I hope you got something.
Or just remember, it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. I got this.
I got this.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening this week. Please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. For more I Got This content, please make sure to follow, like, and share on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or you can always go to our website, igotThisPod.com for more info. As always, thanks for listening. See you next Monday.